So, welcome, Jules, to Metalerin website. It's a great pleasure to talk with you. Talking about the Setyoursails, that's a very difficult name to pronounce. And this new album, Nightfall, and more things related to the metal world, especially around the world. So, starting with this kind of matters, what exactly means Setyoursails? Because it's very difficult to pronounce at the first. And how you relate the name with the new album, with the cover art?
Oh man, set your sails is actually, I don't know, what does that mean? Actually, when we started the band, we were just in a WhatsApp chat, and then we just figured out how we're gonna call ourselves, and then someone came up with set your sails. Um, I don't know, like be positive, let's go. Set your sails in direction of whatever the stages of the world. Um, yeah, we're actually releasing Nightfall this Friday, so it's 2 more days to go. And yeah, actually, the you were asking about the artwork, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, we have this statue on it. I have the record here. It looks like that.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, so I actually own this statue because I bought it on Amazon because I really liked it. I'm really into creepy stuff. And it sat with me on my studio desk. And while I was songwriting, it looked down on me, and I was like, this would be the perfect artwork for our new record. And then I took the statue and I took my camera and went to our guitarist, and then we did the artwork.
Okay. Talking a little about of this new album, Nightfall. This new album was composed during the pandemic, or was it before?
I'd say both. We started writing for it, I believe, at the end of 2019 or something like that, and then we went in the studio in 2020. Um, and we went in the studio before the actual first lockdown took place here in Germany. So we were lucky, actually, to go in the studio, and I believe we finished it in August or something, 2020.
No. Okay. Now, I try to. Well, that's my first time, or my first encounter is hearing "Set Your Sails" because with Nightfall, and I found a lot of metalcore there, and all new metal there, alternative metal, a lot of variations of into the modern metal as we try to say. So for you, how does that exactly label that Set Your Sails has for this Nightfall?
Oh, you mean genre? What kind of
Yes,
genre we
yes.
have? Oh, we have no clue, actually. Um, we set together without any purposes. We were like, let's just write songs, and we didn't really think about where we want to go with it. We didn't sit down saying, oh, we want to sound like a metalcore band, or we're going to sound like this and that. Um, Actually, we just started songwriting, and this is what we came up with. But there's songs on the record which I wrote completely myself, and then there are songs that Andre, our guitarist, wrote instrumentally himself. And I believe that that's why there's such a diversity to it. The songs, if you listen to them, you notice that they're very different, and that's because of the fact that we wrote them separately, but also there's songs that we wrote together. And yeah, we have absolutely no clue what kind of genres we have on the record, but I believe you said it pretty well. It's a mixture out of very different styles at the end.
Great. Well. So if we talk about the last your previous production with Enough and now this Nightfall, what are the biggest strengths that this new album has compared to the previous album? And in which parts of your life composed this new album?
I have to say that Enough, our first album, is something that we're not really proud of. We actually knew each other only for half a year when we sat down to record it, and actually we recorded it in our own bedrooms. And we didn't go into a professional studio or something. We just recorded in our bedrooms and then just threw it out there. just so we can play shows, because we're a live band. We need to play. We need to be on stage, and so actually we just wrote a couple songs and threw them out so that we're able to get booked. And with Nightfall, we actually sat together and took our time to figure out who we are, and yeah, we really actually worked on the songs, and also started working with producers, because that's something that we didn't do for enough. And while we were in the studio, we actually learned a lot about how you can build a song, and how important it is for our music to build a pre-chorus and stuff like that, something that we didn't really do in the first record. So I'd say that we really took our time and really worked on the songs, which we didn't do with enough.
Okay, okay, nice to hear that. So now, sorry, now we will speak about a little of this pandemic, because now this pandemic is affecting around the world for the no gigs, no tours, etc., etc. How this pandemic affects for set your sails, but it's a difficult name again. Set your sails, set your sails, and what are solutions do have for this? Because as you said, you are probably a new band with 2 albums around the world, and now it's very difficult to get more attention, because every day many labels, many bands, many artists release 100, I think 1,000 albums per day, per
Mm.
month.
Yeah, 100%. You know what? Actually, when we wrote Nightfall, we had no clue that we would even sign a record deal. We just made music. The record was done half a year when we signed to Napalm Records, so we had no idea this would go viral. I mean, not viral, but would be published in so many countries, and that we'd sign with such a big record label. So um, I don't know. We're just really honest musicians. We write music that comes from our heart, and lyrics that are very, very personal and honest, and that's what we can do. And we don't write songs to become the biggest or the coolest band on this planet. We just want to make music because it's what we love to do and what we have to do. And we just really want to tour the world and play shows, because that's the only goal that we've ever had for this band, was to just play, because as I already said, we're a live band. And yeah, COVID really you know was horrible for us, because we had to hold back the album for 1.5 years now. um and we weren't able to release it because, as you already said, we're a small band, and not being able to go on tour, it doesn't make sense to release a record, because we have to tour to promote it, right? Um, so yeah, we have a tour going on in May with NSOK, and we really hope that it takes place. And we do have some other plans for touring and stuff. So we really hope that this COVID stuff will go away as soon as possible, so we can jump on tour and play, because that's always been the only goal that we've had for this band.
Great, great, great. So, and what you said about the May tour, talking about this matter, and I think, and I try to relate the Germany scene with the classic stuff, so death metal, black metal, especially when heavy and thrash metal, because your country is a biggest influence for around the world into the heavy metal, power metal, and thrash metal. But now,
Mm-hmm.
I think since last 5 or 6 years, 6 years, the German music, German metal has alternative metal core, progressive metal as like the ocean, this kind of stuff. So how was the receivement for the first songs with Setyoursails, with this new album, especially in
You
German?
mean the feedback we got for the
Yes, yes,
songs?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the feedback.
Ah, crazy. We honestly had zero expectations. We were like, okay, we're gonna do this, release it. And man, I honestly got so many messages from people, and they really like it. They're really honest, and I mean, people are very, very critical here in Germany. It's not like you just throw something out and they go like, oh, this is insane, but they're very, very critical. But once they like you, they are the most supportive people in the entire world. This is crazy. These people are, man, I went to a Beartooth concert in 2019, and I'm telling you that this entire crowd, it was like 2,000, 3,000 people. They were all jumping and freaking out. So they are very, very dedicated. And, you know, it was the best that we could do, having zero expectations and getting this seriously insane responses from the people and everywhere, like on the record side, the label side, on the label socials, or on the YouTube videos and stuff like that, or on our personal socials and on the band socials. It's insane, and it's so beautiful to get this support from the people, and we got so much love. It's insane. We're still overwhelmed, and I really mean it.
Okay, great to hear that. Great to hear that, because here, like, when I hear this metalcore, new metal, alternative metal, and especially in US is a very famous music. In Europe, it's a very different way. So, talking about one matter, as you can see, when a band has a female fronted, there are a lot of playlists, there are a lot of merchandise around to the female musician into the band. So what are you think about the merchandise and the publications and all the sponsors ways are more related with the female fronted because you're a woman and not for the music?
Mm, um, so I'd say like the merchandise we have.
Yes, 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 yes.
Um, you know what? I grew up without any gender roles, so it's like I don't walk around thinking I'm a woman. I'm a female fronted singer, whatever you want to call it. So this has never been a topic to me. I've been raised completely up the opposite. My parents were like, it doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl. You can do whatever you want. You can look however you want. It doesn't matter. Just go out and do it. And that's exactly what I'm doing. The other thing is what people actually do with it. And it is true that people like do compare the female singers more with one another. It's like you don't you don't read that very often, that people say, oh, that singer reminds me of another singer and I don't like what he's wearing, stuff like that. But you actually read that on when it comes to female fronted singers. That's something that I will never understand because I am a woman. That's something that I can't change, or I could change, but I don't want to change it. And I'm proud to be a woman, but it's not necessarily something that I need to point out all the time. I mean, it's not important to me. So it's it's important to. I mean, there are people out there who are just into female fronted music, but only because maybe they like female voices, and that's okay. They don't mean it in a negative way. Um, there are people out there who use it in a negative way, but these are very less people. Most of the people are very supportive, and they just we just call it female fronted because we love female voices. There's nothing wrong about it. So I say that I don't need it to be pointed out all the time that I'm a woman, because I know it. Everyone knows it. But if it helps in a positive way, that people can relate to it, or people can search for us because maybe they just like it, then why not? It's not something negative necessarily.
Well, it's not negative. It's because the media related more things with the female fronted than a male fronted. So that's social media.
Yeah.
For me, it's different because I prefer to hear the music even as female, male, or whatever they love this, because
Yeah.
I prefer to hear the music. If the music is good, I like it. If not, it doesn't matter for me. It's okay.
Yeah.
That's not
100%.
just the media. So just the media. So
Yeah.
talking about, I love to ask one question to all artists I interview many times. It's talking about something very abstract. When you perhaps do you hear about this synesthesia matter?
No.
Yeah,
What's
synesthesia
that?
matter. Okay, synesthesia matter have 5% according to the science studies. 5% of the population of the world has this talent, gift, whatever you want to call. This when a person hear the music, feel bueno, smells, taste,
Ah,
and
okay.
see guns and see colors around this matter. So related this kind of matter with your new album, which are the colors and flavors and taste what is and smells too that the listeners will find in this Nightfall?
Oh, this is a fucking good question, man. This is awesome. This is really good. This is really good. Um, I definitely go with black because black is my favorite color since I can remember. But also fits the record 100% because it's a very dark record, right? It's a lot about depression and dealing with yourself and stuff like that. So I definitely stick with black. Um, Smell would probably I'd go with the smell of fresh rain probably. Um, because I imagine like it's a very dark record and you actually have to sit down to actually listen and maybe even have the lyrics with you. So I imagine sitting in a dark room and there's a glass door and it's raining outside. Um, so very depressing, right? But I'd probably smell some fresh rain and taste. Oh man, I'd probably go with like bitter bitter taste, but also something fresh. Oh man, it's really hard. Like bitter ice cream. I'd go with bitter ice cream because you probably what I do when I hit rock bottom and I'm at a very bad state of mind is either I eat nothing at all or I eat a lot of stuff, and then I prefer ice cream. I'm really into ice cream, so I'm going with a bitter taste, a bitter flavored ice cream.
Great. So, as I said in the first question, we will talk about other matters into the around the rock music or metal music. So, relating with this kind of things within a, as I said in the playlist, with this kind of matter, female, etc., etc. But now with the new generation, there appears these new forms of hearing music. This the Spotify, Tidal, iTunes, and more digital platforms. But with this into this matter, the new generation prefers to hear one, two, three, maximum four songs from an album. So for you, why the albums doesn't have the same impact compared to the 70s, 80s, and 90s? And what does band needs to do to improve or to encourage the listens of all songs in an album?
What was the last thing? What's the last
So
sentence?
how do you motivate the
All
listeners
right.
to encourage the here's all songs on an album?
Mm-hmm. All right. You know what? It you actually have to listen to the entire thing because it is written like a diary almost. And as I already said before, it is about my personal struggle with depression. And when you're facing depression, you're not in a constant mood, right? You're not always extremely sad. You're not always extremely aggressive. You have, or at least I have, extreme mood swings. So there are days when I feel nothing at all. And these songs represent the roller coaster of going through emotions and dealing with depression. So if you just listen to one song, it is probably taken out of the context of the record. And for someone out there who's also dealing with depression, I really hope that they can relate to it and they can find themselves in it and maybe feel a little bit more understood. And that's basically what it is. It represents the roller coaster of emotions you have when you're dealing with something like that. So I would say, I mean, you could just listen to four songs, right? Of course, but to understand the whole context more, it would be definitely make more sense to listen to the entire thing.
Okay, okay. Jules, well, we are very close to end this interview. And one question, what are the future plans for the Nightfall, for Setyoursails, and perhaps you will do a Latin tour here in Latin America?
Oh, this would be awesome, man. I would be I would be going for it. um, I really wish that we will be able to go on tour and be able to promote the record because, as I said a million times before, we need to play live. We need to go on stage, and it's very difficult for us to hold everything back. So I wish that at least one person out there can relate to it and feel understood when it comes to the lyrics, and maybe that helps one person out there. That would be my personal goal for the record. Um, and also to just that people give us a chance as a band and dive into it and maybe find a couple songs they like and then stream the hell out of it. So yeah, and also of course that COVID will yeah go away, so we're actually able to jump on, and we do have other plans. We're working on other tour plans, so we're not standing still. We're actually working very hard right now and producing a lot of content for the next couple of months. And yeah, hopefully being able to jump a tour and across the world.
Okay, okay, okay. Well, Jules, the sad times arrive at this interview. I hope you enjoyed this one as I did. And
Yeah, I
thank you
did.
very much. Thank you very much for your time. Your new album is a great one. You're a terrific person. And I perhaps do you want to add something for your new fans here in Latin America and Metallium readers?
Yeah, and first of all, thank you so much for having me. This was awesome. It almost felt like a therapy session. So yeah, I would just say people out there, stay safe, stay healthy. And be honest about yourself, because this is something I had to learn the hard way with writing this record. And when you're dealing with something, reach out to someone, because there's always someone who listens. It's always like that. So yeah, that would be it. Thank you so much.
Great, great, Jules.